And we're back. I think for this second part of episode 31. Boy. And just as we're coming into... Just wanted to say kind of something. It's... How should I put it? This scenario is kind of weird, as in... I've actually found a history of Chult sort of breakdown with the dates. And so currently we are playing in 1493, right? And so apparently this long lost civilization yeah, here we go. So apparently where is it? Yeah, 1385 was when everything went to, when Mesor disappeared.
How much is that in years?
That's 110 years.
I mean, I know there are a couple of people on Earth, but try and imagine a society in the 19 teens, and you won't find a lot of people able to exactly tell you what happened, how people lived at that point.
What, in 1910?
Yeah.
I mean, we have documentaries, but it's...
I know.
Yeah, it's weird that they... I mean, I keep talking about hundreds of years, and maybe I should stop with it. Everything that artists said in hundreds, just remove a zero from it. Basically, if you were to keep to the official timeline.
It's just a drama queen. It's been a long time, so.
Oh yeah. Let's put it that way. He's being a drama queen. You know, when you get older, time passes differently.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to actually what I would do. I do have a question for you, for all of you, as you move. Yeah, we'll get started back again. So as you're moved to basically to the center of this. Hold on, I'll just pull you to. I had a whole encounter ready, and you guys just decided, nope, we're not going to fight for once. I mean.
I mean, if you're complaining,
we cannot always be the invading adventurers in everyone's lair every time. So my apologies for that.
Well, you were the non-invasive force in the one place where you might want to be. No worries.
Take some loose one.
Let's see. Right. So you are taken in. You are sort of escorted towards the inside this circular temple, sort of temple construct, I guess. There's something. The way that it's set up in sort of this radius where everything is very easy to find, there's something about it, Vroon, that almost speaks of disdain for the maze. It's I mean, you can see it from above. It's fairly simple with this center point in the middle. Yeah, so yeah, so all through about this this place, it is ruined beyond anything. You can see that the fronds and there's been have completely taken over. The rich frescoes are again choked with vines. The snakes, or the Huanti, basically sort of seem to be able to navigate this fairly easily, but you are walking along them almost clumsily, your feet tripping on vines, crushing roots, and it's a slog basically. The center, they don't take you to the center palace, which is interesting. They take you to a series of a set of stairs, basically.
Those ones?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those ones there. And as the Huanti sort of step outside, and one of them continues forward, but the others stay around and behind you. And you can see the three Malison sort of grow from their snake forms to basically make sure that you do not have any cold feet and back away. As the night has fallen, no, that's the one. As night has fallen, and you can see that swarms of bats have risen up. The edge of the water has bred mosquitoes and other bugs. Not enough to bother you the same way as in the Aldani Plains, the Aldani Basin, but definitely enough for you to start noticing and sort of moving around your eyes. An uncomfortable place, definitely. Not helped by the fact that your escorts do not blink. Let's move you to the entrance then, which I should have done on the break, but you know how it is. Let's see. Right. So. I do have a question. What do you do with your pets?
I will dismiss Kumari at the entrance. I don't think she can go inside very easily.
The entrance is wide enough, and you can see that there are traces that you kind of you would recognize them as they're similar to Kumari's. There is a beast of burden that shares her size that has been coming in and out, basically. Let's see, that's everybody. Yeah, all four. I just need your escort.
As long as no threat is opposed to level, I will keep it.
I'll keep Nugget on my shoulders, just to be sure there are no snakes in the mood for a bite.
I don't have a pet.
That is true.
Yet.
Okay. Let's move you to the next big map. Your first dungeon of this adventure, in a sense. The Fane of the Night Serpent.
Nice.
How do you spell Fane?
Fane.
Ah, okay.
Okay, can everybody see?
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. So a series of the let's see. Let's go into everyone. Here we go. A wide passage slopes down to a set of bronze doors. Coiled serpents decorate the metal with a sliding hatch at about head height. 4-inch wide holes pierce the base of each one of the doors. And as you move forward towards the door, the Malison that were sort of in the back switch into their serpent forms and slide underneath the doors into these holes.
Yeah, I guessed.
The four of the six purebloods have followed you in. You can still see the silhouette of the other two at the end in the light of the torches, and one of them at the front sort of boom, 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 knocks on these heavy bronze doors. The latch opens, and you can see behind it a pair of yellow reptilian eyes sort of peering in the little slot. There's an exchange. Any of you speak Draconic?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone.
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 No, I mean, no, except Gale. For a reason I don't understand, Gale doesn't speak Draconic, which with her background is a bit absurd, but yeah.
Let me just check something because I want to make sure.
Fine. Hello.
No, sorry, they would be talking Abyssal.
No.
Does anybody speak that?
No.
No?
No.
Sure?
I do speak primordial, but not.
Yeah.
I speak Celestial, so I don't think. No.
I just want to share. I just want to make sure that I'm doing things right here, but. Yes, so they all speak Abyssal. Yeah. So they would be speaking Abyssal rather than. And I'm not saying that to not have to translate for you. It's just that considering the
No.
place, it's actually
I
much.
trust you.
It's much. Yeah. Well. Say, oh, do you speak this language? Yes, we all do. Do you speak this other language? Aha! I got you there.
That's the nice thing about like the demonic like the what's it called, the Eyes of the Runekeeper, where it's like, do you read this? I read every language. Just
Yeah. I love warlocks. It's just one of those things where you're gonna go. It's the best class to surprise your DM. So.
Yes.
Oh, but I can.
Sweats in DM.
Actually, you know what? I realized that this might not be the best. Let's find. Oh, great! I just realized that I don't have a. Let's just keep this.
dungeon music.
You don't have a threateningly somber music on hand?
I should have made better use of the break. Let's put it that way. I will have one for next session. I promise. I have a few in mind already.
I mean, you better, because like most of this campaign is supposed to be in a dungeon, right?
Hush you. Anyways, the doors slide open. Oh, great! That's fun, wizards. They put me 2 doors that are supposed to open either way, but it's 1 bar in the. It's not wizards. I guess that would be Roll20. But just doesn't make sense. Anyways, so the 2 doors sort of slide to either side, and you can see a. Let's see if I can. So on the other side of these grates, you have a type 1 Huanti Malison. So if I remember correctly, those are the ones with just the heads.
I had made a note of that somewhere in the player's notes, but it's been a while.
Yeah, so human body with snake head.
Oh, wow.
And so as he's holding sort of down this this sort of chain, sort of pulley system as he's been pulling down the whole thing. He's also accompanied by 4 strange looking creatures. You haven't seen these before, but I will share with you the handout. These are twisted, alien-looking reptilian humanoids that seem to constantly be sort of shifting about, smelling the air as they
Tasting the air. tasting the air, I guess.
Yeah, almost tasting the air, especially as the door opens and a flood of new odors, and those of 4 particular people come in. Oh, I forgot to add Laryl. Sorsha, shall we, for the sake of my sanity, just say that you popped him out? Just so that... or do you want to keep him?
If you want,
It's mostly that I don't necessarily want to track it, move it along. I think you have access to it, right?
okay.
You have access to it? You can move him around?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
but yeah.
You can move in, should you wish. The purebloods behind you are sort of beckoning you to move forward. The Malison sort of with a crack of the whip sort of moves the brood guard to the side to let you in, but the four attentions are directly sort of set towards you.
Just for the sake of the GM knowing, I suggest Vroon, you open the march, and I'll close the march just so that we have one tank in front and one tank in the back, just in case. And the 2 squishy casters in the middle.
Oh, come on. Why won't this move? There we go.
Oh, hello. That's
okay,
a dinosaur.
Just a second. Don't move too fast. Too right. There we go. So behind you, as the maybe move back up to the center of the room, please. But yes, you can definitely actually. You would have smelled her before you would have even seen her, Vroon. You know how you can sort of sense these things. The brood guard, as you are held there, the brood guard sort of again twist around you, sort of sniffing the air around you, tasting you, almost memorizing your scent. The one of the purebloods has sort of followed, and you can see that she's in negotiation or talking to the Malison next to her. It's you don't need to speak Abyssal to understand what's going on, and as there's literally he doesn't want to talk to her. He's dismissive. Almost, and she's very much in a position of subservience and servitude, most likely.
Because she's human looking.
Yes, but that you would understand that if you had knowledge of how the Huanti work in their society. Yes, for those who are not necessarily in the know, but I mean you can guess it. The more human you look, the less you are on the echelon of Dendar. The more malformed you are, the higher up you are in the ranks, basically. Mm-hmm. Before you, to the south, you can see again. A sort of a rotund human, or at least sort of right here, sort of chomping on what looks from afar to be something of the size of a small apple. The way it would crunch, the way it would look, almost feels like a tomato, sort of a round, a very round, very smooth tomato. However, there is definitely a moment where there is a bit of confusion as to what's going on between the two. As in, the Malison clearly has some idea that where the four of you should be put. And
He's thinking jail cell.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's saying no, that's not necessarily a thing. But she can't speak up. And then he has. And then he points to Laryl. And you see the woman sort of shake her head. Is there anything... Somebody?
Well, I'm ready to pop him if someone makes an action or makes a move towards him, but if not, I'll keep it close.
There's definitely there's a snap of the fingers, a gesture towards Laryl, and the brood guard do sort of start slowly moving in. There's definitely an idea of no pets.
I would put myself in front of the bird, of the thing going, and saying no. And I pop Laryl.
Okay, you pop Laryl.
Yeah, but I would put him behind my back and say no to the bird guard.
Okay.
I'm very slowly putting a nugget into my shirt.
Interesting. Make me... You know what? Let's go for it. Make me an intimidation check at disadvantage.
Intimidation, all right. That's still a 16.
That's still a 16.
Plus, I'm in my changeling form, so...
That means nothing to them.
But you're in your home base.
They like people better if they look fucked up.
Yeah, I kind of think that... I just want to make sure of something, but... Right, okay. Yeah, there's that, as you sort of said, no. There's definitely a moment where the aggression to which he's going to respond in kind. And there's definitely, I'm just going to make one bite attack. There's definitely a moment where he goes to jump you, and you can see this maw sort of rush towards you. To which again the Huanti, not the Huanti, but the Malison behind this sort of sparks a word out, and the thing recoils. But just as you could have seen, just the venom sort of drip through the jaws, it slinks away. Definitely definitely not the kind of thing where aggression is maybe not the case with these things.
Oh, it was not aggression. It was defense. No.
Yeah, but intimidate. When you try to intimidate, you don't intimidate somebody by defending. This is
a mama boar is defending and
Yeah,
intimidating.
aggressively.
Not until she rushes you.
Intimidation is through threat of violence and use of fear. There is nothing more aggressive than that.
Yeah, depends on your notion of violence, but it's
Also, there's no role for the defensiveness. So
yeah.
Technically,
Sure.
persuasion, I believe, would be.
no,
Because,
that's
well,
not.
persuasion you can use it to try and calm down.
I'm trying to be friendly. There
Yeah.
was no attempts to be friendly. It was just like no.
Yeah.
Animal
touch.
handling.
Is it though?
I mean, technically, it's considered a humanoid, but it has barely enough intelligence to justify that. So,
Okay.
well, no, it has. Well, they mentioned that they're no longer human in some form, but anyways, but definitely you can see that while it would have maybe worked in this kind, the response was violence immediately. There was no discussion to be had. There's no pleading with these creatures.
Yes, dogs.
Yeah,
Guard dogs.
yeah, pretty much. Yes, they are definitely they feel like guard dogs. Actually, as you look to the side behind it, you can actually see another pair of Malisons that have turned their heads towards the ruckus, and you can see both of them seem to be guarding a door.
Where's this?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
So that's to the east. To the south, as I mentioned, you have this huge sort of snake statue. Another sort of a fat-looking a pureblood munching on something, and another few brood guard who seem to be sort of slinking again around. They seem to be a bit everywhere, these things. And of course, you smell it before you actually see it. But yes, there's a Triceratops in the corner behind a.
Decoration-wise, how are we? Frescoes on the walls, carvings on the walls, or is it bare and spare?
So the entrance is fairly bare, but who knows as you go deeper in. Don't know. I don't know if you can see that far.
How far?
Let's see.
Is there any torches or anything like that?
Actually, the area is fairly well lit. Let me just check. But yes,
It looks like it.
Oh yeah, there's indeed light sources on the walls.
Yeah, all over the place. Yeah, there's light sources. Yeah.
Okay.
And they happen to be on the. For once they are actually on the dynamic lighting layer as well.
Yeah, we could
Nice.
use it.
Yes. By the way, these are not torches. These are sort of crystalline lamps that seem to shine a very dead kind of whitish bluish glow to them. Sort of illumining the passageways. Just so you know, the passageways are about any corridor is about 10 feet tall, and any of the rooms, like the one that you're in, are 20 feet tall. Just in case you wanted to know. There's going to be there's a bit of a the discussion goes on just enough for one of the Malison down the corridor to the east sort of turns and starts moving in your direction.
I'll switch with Sorsha. pushing
doesn't-
her next to Heinrich and behind Vroon. Just so that you're a little bit more like...
You're putting me back from 2 to 4 of them, so I'm not sure it's really efficient, but if you want the place, I can't let you, but if it's to protect me...
There's again a few sort of hiss of abyssal as the newcomer sort of joins the conversation. The entry guard sort of rolls his eyes, crosses his arms, and sort of nods, and the Malison, the newcomer, sort of turns towards you in a very sort of accented, almost Chaltian accent, sort of turns toward. So type 2. What were
Snake hands.
Snake hands.
Snake
yeah.
arms.
Yeah. So human with snake sort of turns towards you and says, "You come now."
Oh, with
Finally a decision.
directions. Okay, appreciate it.
Mm.
And I think Vroon will still like go out front.
Okay.
Okay, Vroon, you step in front. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll hold the back again.
You are led just to basically to a door. As you move forward, though, especially you, Vroon, there is the heavy scent of blood, of spilt, coagulating blood coming from
Yeah, I see
further.
some kind of
Yeah.
altar there.
As you can see, just beyond a second Malison, also with the snake arms crossed or crisscrossed, a bloodstained altar standing in the middle of the room. You're just as you are led to the door, just before you are led into the door to the north, you can see that there are shackles set up on either side, and again the brood guard sort of looking toward, smelling, tasting the air in your direction. And you are brought into a small room. I will move you in, and the door closed behind you.
Nope.
No worries, I will move you towards it directly. There you go.
Well, don't we get a say in it? Okay.
Yes, you do have a say. The say is yes, considering that you have a Malison, you have a muscular human with snake for arms pushing you forward.
Uh-huh.
Do you wish to resist?
Now, I was asking you if there was an option somewhere. That's all.
DM, I'm a bit in the dark. I don't see anything anymore.
Oh, is there no light in here?
It doesn't
Nope.
seem like it's because I can only see.
Wow. Okay, let me I will move.
I mean,
one of
I can
these.
ignite my globe, but
There you go. That should be better.
Thank you.
In front of you, as you sort of pushed in, I think it starts dark. As who has dark vision? Sorsha and Gale.
Me. Yeah.
You can see that through at the end of there's a. You see this clearly, while the other, Vroon and Heinrich, just in the gloom of the you can see that there's something piled up at the edge of the room. Let me just give you, oh, here we go. Yes.
what? I mean, I'm going to take the time, like while they put us in this room anyway, and I'm assuming we're not going to be taken out in a very short time. And since we still have our stuff, I'm going to put on my armor.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they put us in the room, I'm like, well, just in case.
Let's get comfy.
Yeah.
And
Let's.
can I
let me-
help
let-
Rune with that?
Okay.
Just a second.
Just a second. Let me describe the room before you start
Mm-hmm.
doing things, okay? And just get. Wait,
Mhm.
I need to. And let me explain to you why you will not be given the opportunity to wear that armor.
Okay.
Rune, as you and Heinrich.
Oh, wait, there's someone in the room.
Yes, I'm getting to that. Please let me finish. So as the first thing that sort of comes as you're pushed in is a heavy odor of incense that lingers inside the chamber, and as the light turns on, you can notice faded murals decorating the walls, throw rugs, and cushions that lie scattered on the floor. An engraved chest rests in one of the corner next to a stone urn covered with snake carvings. A creature with the head and upper body of a dark-skinned woman and the lower body of a snake coils in among the cushions in the back. And I will give you. This is what she looks like.
I feel like I've seen that image before.
If you've made any search for Huan Ti on Pinterest, you will have seen this one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh. Okay.
Those abs, though.
I mean, she's a snake.
Those abs, though.
Yeah. No, absolutely. As she sort of turns, she moves upwards from a reclining position. You notice that there's a small, what looks to me, a small hookah next to her. And as she turns towards you, sort of stands and says, "Well then, are these the four that have been causing chaos in Omut lately? Are you the ones that Rasen C has been so excited about?"
We have hardly been causing chaos, but I am sure that Dragonsinger has been excited about us.
She pulls another on the hookah, sort of blowing the smoke to add to this already sort of smoky atmosphere, and she says, "Well, looting tombs, killing creatures, waking the King of Feathers. From what I understand, you are also to be thanked for the destruction of those pests in white and red robes. Are you not?"
We did not wake the King of Feathers. He seemed to be well awake. We put him to sleep, though.
So it is said, yes. And so, guests, you find yourselves before Fenthaza, advisor to Rasensi, a nightmare speaker of this fane. Who might I have the pleasure of speaking to?
I am called Vroondomon.
A name from these shores, yet just not quite.
Does the term nightmare speaker tells me anything?
Before we get to that role, does anybody else present themselves? Introduce
I am
themselves.
the Dragonsinger.
Say that again, sorry?
I am the Dragonsinger.
A title in lieu of a name. interesting. You have nothing to fear. Changeling. I know you change names as well as you can change skins. Should I call you Dragonsinger, then?
You may.
If it would flatter you, then it will be done.
I don't see what you would possibly achieve by that, but be my guest.
You are the one giving me the name to call you by.
Yes, you asked for one.
As she turns towards Vroon says, wow, this one is feisty. Very interesting. How you've managed to keep her in check, I do not know how. And how about you? With the blue skin. Your name.
Gale will suffice.
Gale. Of course. Again, pulling on her smoke pipe. And you in the back.
You see that Heinrich stumble a bit with his voice and just says, just Heinrich.
No, none of you really are from these parts. So what brings you to Omu then? Treasure? Lost heirlooms? The mystery of ancient ways? Are you here to meet the great Rasensi himself and see him in his glory?
Well, we have been told that he, or it's you lots, have taken the last key to the Temple of the Nine Gods.
Ah, yes. That is your purpose, then. You seek passage into Acererak's home. You seem surprised.
Like, there's definitely like the recognition in Vroondomon's eyes as well. Like, wait, a crack?
Does that name say something to me?
Sure. Let's have the rolls go. So
A group check.
group check. So you can either so Gale, you had a roll that you wanted to do with regards to the the Nightmare Speaker. You can make it. That's definitely going to be a religious roll.
Okay.
For the others, you can either go for any knowledge roll, specifically either history or Arcana or maybe even religious with regards to. Okay, Gale, yeah.
So 11 for religion, and I am going to join into the Acererak Fest with the history.
Let's go! Okay, so you're taking history, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna do Arcana then. So we.
Ooh, nice!
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm going the religion route. I mean,
Okay, so first, Nightmare Speaker. The cult of... I would say that it is well known that many of the Huanti follow Dendar, which is the night serpent, he who feeds on nightmares.
I mean, artists mentioned it,
yes,
so...
absolutely. The only thing that you wouldn't accept is... that you would understand is Nightmare Speaker might be a title within that religious hierarchy. So this would be she would be the equivalent of a priest, maybe a local a priest in the cult. Let's put it that way. But there's nothing more to that you could say. The conjecture at most. With a 9, Sorsha, a Sararak, you haven't heard any stories with regards to this person.
Yeah,
or maybe, but always if it was, it's maybe on the edge of a god or some kind of any mention of the name of Sararak in stories brings out ruin. This is the same way the wrath of God. This would be where he walks, nothing survives. That kind of thing. Sort of
all right.
civilization killer kind of thing. And as far as you know, you're not exactly sure if it's a god or an evil or a metaphor.
Apophis, basically.
Yeah, let's
probably.
Go with that. Yeah. Gale, Heinrich, and Vroon, you know better. With Gale with a 17, a Sararak is a name that is not pronounced lightly. I mean, Heinrich with a 27 in Arcana, a Sararak is a lich on the edge of godhood. He is, while treaties have called him a god, others have said that he's merely there. Others mentioned that he's too powerful to become a god, and he just, the only reason why he's not a god is just he's decided not to. This is a character strong enough so that, yes, maybe not the top gods, but the lesser gods fear his attention. There are, yes, all of a sudden the peril of that particular place has rushed up, and you feel the hairs on your arms and on your, and I don't know if you have a hairy back, but certainly on the arms you sort of raise up in recognition. Vroondomon with an 18 in religion, yeah, same kind of thing. As in, there's that distinction as, yeah, there are cults to a Sararak that happen here and there, mostly, I mean, a lot of the Merkelites have a tendency of adoring a Sararak sort of almost like a saint. You've got the Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Spirit. Well, you've got Merkel and a Sararak almost on the same pedestal, okay, except one's still alive.
Well, alive.
Yeah. As alive as a lich can be.
So yes, the fact that this Fentaza is sort of dropping his name, saying, "Oh yeah, oh his home," and you're going,
wait, what?
I mean, I was also making the akakrak translation. Like, wait, those kobolds we're talking about.
I think a small panic attack is in the back, like, oh
fuck,
oh
shit,
oh shit, oh shit.
Make me a, let's see, Heinrich, are you proficient in performance?
No.
No? Okay. Make me a wisdom check. Not saving throw, wisdom check.
Just roll wisdom?
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay. So you are incapable of hiding the trembling and Fentaza, whose attention was already directed towards you, all of a sudden her eyes go wide and there's a grin that creeps over and says, "Oh, is this a surprise?"
You've heard of him then?
Did you not know whose door you were knocking on? Whose lock you wish to pick? Delicious. Yes.
He's grabbing Nugget and just breathing very a bit faster.
The other three, how are you reacting?
Stone cold face, which the others know, means that Gale is really keeping her in check, her emotions. But
Wisdom check. If you
Okay.
have performance, you can add your proficiency bonus to it.
nope. But wisdom check, it's gonna be.
Sorsha is poker faced because
Seriously?
she doesn't know what's going on, but she won't act like she doesn't know or she knows anything. So yeah, poker face.
I think the fact that you, I think what saves you in this, I'm not going to have you roll. I think what saves you here is the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah, but-
know, you can't fear what you don't know in this case.
True. But I know their reaction and that something is not right.
Yeah, you can definitely see it on Gale's. Gale has gone pale. She's gone from blue to teal. Heinrich's blood has completely left his face. And he's he's almost sort of holding himself against the wall with one hand, sort of trembling as his knees are about to give out. Vroon, how about you?
Vroon's ears are like sort of restlessly like
Yeah.
twitching a bit, and like he's like there's not much on his face, but like his ears are like.
Fantaza, before you, seems delighted in the sort of panic that she's managed to put you in just with one word. And she continues, well, let us see then. You have come here then to plead with Rassensi? Or has this revelation changed your minds?
Please. He's invited us here.
And you have accepted?
Yes, accepted.
He has the lost parts of the keys, does he not?
He does?
Then it does not matter who has it, but we need to talk to him in this case.
This key is important then, despite the danger that I know you now realize. For what purpose do you wish to enter the tomb? What is the focus of your determination?
It is none of your concern.
You do understand that he will be asking this, and
Yes.
you will be answering.
He will ask. But you won't have our answer.
Why do you wish to know before we tell him?
I am his advisor.
Do you want to know it to advise him, or do you want to know it because you wish to take his place?
You are a shrewd one, Luxodon. You do seem capable enough. Maybe, would you strike against him, your host, and bring down upon you the wrath and vengeance of the Fane?
That is not our purpose here.
No, but if someone else could take his place, then there would not be much vengeance from the Fade, would there now?
And who would you believe this person might be? Hmm? Are you trying to turn me against him?
I have the feeling that there's not much turning to be done.
She sort of she lies about. She lounges again into her seating. And should you come to this agreement, should I confirm your suspicions, what would prevent you from telling Ross and C the same line? Would you give me away to him to curry his favor?
It doesn't matter, right?
I am not talking to you, girl.
Do you even have access to the key that we seek?
I could.
If your master is out of the way.
Do not use the term master.
My apologies.
The only master I have is the serpent. But I will forgive you for that transaction. Transgression. Transaction. Transgression. That's the
Transgression,
word.
yes.
Words.
Be a GM good.
Well, I, for one, am ill-prepared for a meeting with... Well, I'm not supposed to call him your master.
Ill-prepared.
Oh, yes. We were hoping to avoid the whole lot of you. So I did not suit up.
Ah, yes. The armored Luxodon, trudging through Chult, in armor not of this land. We have been hearing you coming.
Mm-hmm.
And should I let you don your armor? Should I let you walk in front of Ross and C with your means and weapons? What do you think will happen? Should you pull your blades in front of him? And should your strikes not be quick enough? How would you see your fate then?
Yes, I'm sure.
If you were lucky, yes.
Well. And then, like, you see Vroon almost saying something and then going like, no.
If you want to know what he was about to say, ask the question in the comments.
I can tell you now.
What would you have said?
It was going to be like, well, it's not like they can resurrect us. And then I was like, no, I should not tell her that.
There's just a moment where she turns her head sort of almost lazily towards one of the walls, and you can see that there's a pair of shackles, and the back of the stone, while dry, you can see that blood has stained and permanently seeped into the stone beneath the shackles and pooling all around the floor. Perhaps he would give you to me. Or perhaps he would punish us both. Me for letting his aggressor into his home, into his private chambers. I would propose something else. He would not see you decked in your armor and in your effects. He has become too paranoid for that. Too weak. But he is still curious. He would have you brought before him, disarmed. Certainly. But a case could be made for him to inspect your effects and have them brought in with you. His guard would be down.
From what we have been told so far, he does not sound like a fool.
No, he is not. He expects treachery beyond bounds. And he is right. Many have tried to bring him down. And you have been seen with the last to bring him humble. Do not think that we do not know that Artist Simber has walked among you, and that we do not know who he is or what he carries. Again, I ask, if you wish to speak, or do you expect to fell him? In either way, I can bring him to you.
We stand much less of a chance if we are stripped of our equipment.
Then you shall fight your way to him. As his minions and those of the cult will throw themselves in front of your blades to protect him.
Is it only weapons that they wish to take, or everything?
Question, is your loot visible? Strung about your shoulders?
I mean, for ease of transport.
No, I'm talking
Lutes as the
lute.
instrument.
Yeah, the lute.
Oh,
the
okay,
instrument.
yeah. Not
I understood loot also.
yeah.
So I was like, what? What?
I will rephrase. Is your instrument, your bardic instrument, is it visible, or do you have it hidden, or?
It's probably protected, but visible still. You
Okay,
can-
yeah.
Because protected because the jungle, but visible because ready
To
for
be put
action.
in action. Yeah.
She would look to you and say, maybe I could see his knowledge of the arcane is not to be dismissed. He would know. However, any effect that you might be brought would be for him to examine. He would want to see what you have brought. He is fascinated with magics of other countries and other lands.
But sweat starts to go on Heinrich.
I gave you guys a look. I don't know if you remember, but
I'm not sure they got the message.
No,
Well,
you're being too vague.
yeah.
yeah, but I can't communicate with you about that. So
I mean, what I think is what I think you're trying to say is that you have your like ring,
yeah,
and that we can put stuff in there, but like I don't see how we would get it out
Yeah.
before shit hits the fan.
yeah, there's a choice to make. I can hit thing.
Like I don't know. I don't know how we would get our gear out of your ring before we need it.
Yeah, but if there is stuff that shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, to protect stuff we
yes.
absolutely
Yeah,
need.
that's what I was meaning. So.
We,
I think-
we absolutely don't want to lose.
I
Yeah.
think we did that for the rest of the keys as well already.
Just,
Yeah, technically the rest of the keys are supposed to be in your ring already.
That's the last one.
just above table between us players.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use Heinrich because he's saying like he's interested in magic, you know, as a little appeasing thing. Like, hey, we have someone who uses magic, so be nice, please. Anything we can use to have a more favorable situation? It's just an idea that I want to put on the table.
They know that we have magic. That's not a.
Yeah.
It's like they're not gonna like they know exactly who we are, and like even when we try to introduce ourselves with different names, it's like, oh, is that what you want to be called? Sure. Like there's no surprises.
Don't
our
forget
end.
they had a
Proposition.
spy. They had a spy
Yeah.
among us for
For
month.
months.
Almost a month, yeah.
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 So surprises. I mean, the ring thing could be a surprise because that's new.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to see. Like for me, it's difficult to see how we can go like, oh yes, and now we'll just pull our shit out of our ring and then quickly use it somehow.
I mean,
No.
it's evident for them to at least know. I mean, they don't necessarily know all of Heinrich's spellbook, but they know he would be a wizard. They know.
Yeah.
Consider that they would know what your. They would know in mechanics. I would expect they would know your class and your subclass, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure, and your specialties, yeah. Either by Salida telling them or giving regular notes, or just because of the ruckus that you create in Omu and the different fights and the different tactics and stuff like that. So they've always been
they have
watching.
spies all over the city, yeah.
Okay, so basically, last level is a surprise, but all the rest is not.
pretty sure that yes, they would know that you were a bard with musical powers. They would not necessarily know about you having Eldritch Blast. Well, actually, no, they would because you use it, but they wouldn't know that yes, that the whole warlock thing is not. That would be a surprise, yeah.
Okay, but it's still that. I mean,
I would definitely think that would have been a pretty cool moment should Sorsha had walked in alone with the other 3 in the ring
Oh,
and
yes.
then pop, all 4 and then charge. That could have been amazing, but that's not how things happen. So
no.
So gang,
So I think our options are either we fight our way from this room to Russian Seed,
not knowing
But-
where he is.
not knowing
Yeah.
where he is, but I'm sure that our lovely hostess will give us some pointers.
Maybe.
And she'll, give us a little bit of time to prep, maybe a short rest or something. I don't know.
I can cast invisibility on us to try to sneak around. I don't
No,
know.
not with the not with the brood guard who orient by scent. That's not
That's-
gonna happen.
That, and also, like, if I want to put my armor on, like, my stealth rolls are still going to be a disadvantage because clunk clunk clunk. My like, I there's this paladin stealth thing where it's like, no, if you don't leave anyone alive, then we're stealthy.
Yeah, and it's more gonna be cramped soon. But yeah. So fight our way, give our objects, and
Yeah, the options seem to be either we have our gear and fight our way from this little room to wherever we need to be, or hand in our gear and hope that we can get it because it's being presented to him or something. That was for
Yeah,
me a bit
basically
like,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can join in that.
Holy smokes.
What a choice!
last choice. You give your gear to me and hope for the best. But
How
well,
long does it take for you to get something back from the ring?
one action.
yeah, but like it takes me 10 minutes to put on my armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not your armor,
Same
but
here.
weapons and everything could go in. And I could go in prepared. And get out. You get that, and you get that, and you get that. Let me have my fantasy.
I find it scary.
Quickly, just to know, mechanically speaking, what would she be asking us to give away? All our gear, we're basically naked with a shirt and and pants, or is it everything magical?
That was my question for her.
I would most likely. Let's put it this way: if you wanted to keep anything on you, it would require a smuggling check.
Okay.
Even for stuff like rings.
Rings, those might pass off. Let's put it that way. But he would be wondering, why are you still wearing that? Stuff like that. But anything sharp, anything protective, so anything large, so weapons, shields, armor, most likely even sort of wands or focuses, stuff like that, would be required to be presented to him. as gestures of good faith and the fact that you are not coming in to assassinate him.
I don't like it.
Which
Nope.
paradoxically hires the chance that we are aggressive to him. Yeah.
That's exactly when you need a monk.
That is true. Let's say this. Why don't we take a bit of time for you to consider your options?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
because we're running
And
on.
we are kind of running towards the end of the session right now. So let's stop here for tonight. You have the means to communicate among yourselves as to whether the plan for the next to plan your next move, basically here in Fentaza's lair. So on that note, thank you for this evening. We're back. We are going to be looking into a more regular schedule, and so keep an eye out on the channel for the rest of the adventures as our Waterdeep 4, the Trollskull crew, challenges one of the great evils of Chult.
I mean, there is another option.
Go for it.
Discuss
We
that
go-
after.
Yeah.
So, okay. We'll see you next time. Mysteries and Monsters, Omu. See you soon, and thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.